What is up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Hey, we here with some Formula One. I have done some Formula One stuff or videos because I'm familiar with Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen. Did some videos, but on this channel I do sports, so I might have to repost those videos on here or just start fresh. Which I have this video, Formula One explained for rookies, because I still don't understand it, because I know it's definitely not like NASCAR. You know, I'm familiar with NASCAR, although I don't watch NASCAR too much. So you want to see me, I might have to get into NASCAR too, but we finna check this out, see how they explain. I did a video though before. I see it's very expensive. It's very expensive. So, but I was just at the gym and I seen it. I was like, I never seen anybody, at least in my circle or people I know, or even in restaurants and different places, just show Formula One. And now that I'm familiar with it, I seen it in the gym today. I was like, you know what, let me check something out, because it's been a minute. But explain for rookies. I'm a rookie in this. Y'all hit that subscribe button, send down those recommendations.
What will happen over the course of the next 66 laps?
66.
Max Verstappen is champion of the world.
You've been hearing about F1 too, right? Cool, let's talk about it.
Formula One racing into Miami for the first time.
The hottest ticket in town.
Miami.
Tom, Drive to Survive.
Drive to survive.
Drive to survive.
This is a car race at over 200 miles an hour.
Dang.
In cities all over the world.
Miami Grand Prix, Bahrain Grand Prix, here in Monaco.
With insanely famous drivers.
Daniel Ricciardo.
Lewis Hamilton, 7.
Dang.
100-person teams. Racing cars so advanced that they're practically spaceships. And so expensive that they had to make a rule that teams couldn't spend more than $140 million.
Bro, you can get, like, a F1 driver could probably own, like, a professional football team or basketball team. Like, that's crazy. They probably could.
Expensive that they had to make a rule that teams couldn't spend more than $140 million each. And it's only getting bigger. Just look at this. This is from a construction camera at one of 2 new US racetracks. This one's in Miami. This cost $40 million to build, and it hosted nearly 250,000 people over 3 days.
Oh my God.
That's a Super Bowl worth of people.
I didn't know people were really, like, that's a lot of people. I think that's more than the Super Bowl. I didn't know that many people attended this. That's crazy.
250,000 people over 3 days. That's a Super Bowl worth of people every day. And one of them was me.
It's the first ever Miami Grand Prix. We're racing in the States, and it's
I seen this picture. On Twitter. It was probably around this time, because I think this video said a month. Dang, look, that's greatness right there. Wow. That's crazy.
I just love F1.
That's
crazy. A lot of
crazy.
people, because of all this hype, they're hearing about it right now for the first time. And they're feeling a little bit,
I don't understand.
So let's get into it. This is F1 explained for rookies. What you need to know to keep up with this crazy, expensive sport that everyone's suddenly obsessed with.
Lewis Hamilton!
Verstappen holds it!
It's done!
But it's also a look at the bigger question here, the huge question, which is, why do this? Like, why pour so much money, so much technological effort into F1, into entertainment? The answer is in what we get in return. This isn't just a car race. This is a space program for the road.
General growth in interest.
Formula One.
F1's becoming much more of a thing here in the States.
The Monaco Grand Prix! Win the Italian Grand Prix! The Bahrain Grand Prix!
If you're new to F1, you might know its American cousins. NASCAR has the least family resemblance. Closed cockpits, oval tracks. IndyCar and F1 look more related.
Okay.
They've got the spaghetti-looking track, open cockpits. But there's one.
Okay, I'm familiar. I seen Indy then, but like I said, with Formula One, I know what the F1 is. Like, I always look for that, but they do kind of look similar. I never knew that. I never realized that.
They've got the spaghetti-looking track, open cockpits. But there's one really important difference between these two. And it's the reason why F1 specifically is such a big deal. In IndyCar, all of the cars use the same frame, or chassis, the DW12. So the competition here is mostly in how you race that car. But in F1, every team has to design and manufacture their own cars. And the best part is that they get to improve the cars between each race, or not, depending on how they do. So the competition in F1 actually centers around the car itself. Not just how you race it, but also how you build it and rebuild it again and again and again. This is why I love F1. It looks like the sport of daredevils.
Most
but
definitely.
much more than that. It's the sport of nerds. But before we get to that, I want to show you something. One of the questions that I get asked most about my videos is, where did you get all of that footage? And the answer is Storyblocks.
Storyblocks?
Seriously, I use them all the time, and that's why I was super excited when they became Hugh Difftrue's first ever sponsor. I love Storyblocks. So here's how this works. Let's say, hypothetically, there's a section coming up in this video about how F1 is pushing forward cool technology in your car. So I go onto the Storyblocks site and I type in what I want to show. Like, for example, car start button, and ta-da!
Oh, wow.
I can download as many clips as I want, and they have a bunch of different pricing options depending on how much you want to spend. My favorite is the unlimited all access plan because they have over 1 million assets.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
And I like to try out a lot of options. So go check them out. There's a link in my description, and see if you can find the footage that I just downloaded later in this video.
How to win.
Okay, each team races 2 cars, so 2 drivers for the same team. Each event, or Grand Prix, is 3 days. Practice, qualifying, and race day. I watch these on TV every time they're on, but this was the first time I ever got to see it in person.
That would be nice.
That was awesome. Now I am inside the Mercedes garage.
Wow.
Truly, I have never had more fun at a
Hey, dang, that would be dope. I ain't even gonna lie. That would be dope. Checking out an F1 race in person. Look at that. That dude look like a spaceship on wheels. I ain't even gonna lie. Like, that dude look like a spaceship on wheels. That's crazy.
Now I am inside the Mercedes garage.
Truly, I have never had more fun at a sporting event and seen less of what was actually going on.
So right now they're about to do a practice pit.
Oh.
Here's how this works. The order of who does the fastest lap on qualifying day becomes the lineup at the starting line on race day. And passing isn't easy, so where you start is a really big deal. Depending on where drivers finish, they get different numbers of points. After 10th place, no points for you. Drivers want to get the most points themselves to win something called the Drivers' Championship. But teams want to get the most points total to win the Constructors' Championship. The 2 championship thing actually kind of makes for funny mismatched incentives sometimes. You can hear it on the radio when teams have one strategy, like they want to let drivers pass each other, and drivers get really mad about that.
Dang.
If he's quicker, we let 3. That's very unfair, but okay.
But generally,
dang.
everybody agrees about
Just for the points, I didn't know they let them pass. Like, I mean, I guess you just never know what they saying on those radios. I mean, I never, like I said, I was watching it at the gym, but you know, you usually gotta have headphones at the gym to hear the TV and stuff. So I was just looking, but can you hear them talking on the radio? Do they kind of show that on the TV and stuff? Y'all let me know, cause I'm gonna have to check it out.
Like they want to let drivers pass each other, and drivers get really mad about that.
If he's quicker, we let 3. That's very unfair, but okay.
But generally, everybody agrees about the big things, which are drivers, race your fastest. Teams, make the best car.
Wow.
All right, here's the fun part.
Not the Lego.
Lego is here. Hey, kids, look.
There's my driver. Hello, Lewis Hamilton. Think of an F1 car like an airplane upside down. Both meant to move as quickly through the air as possible, right? But where an airplane's wings work to lift it up, these cars' wings work to keep it down.
Wow.
Why? Because winning doesn't just depend on going fast. It also depends on keeping control.
Yeah.
And that requires a firm grip on the ground. Take a look at the shape of this car. Now watch how the air moves across it. See how some goes above the wing and some squeezes the long way underneath it?
Wow.
That creates a situation where there's higher pressure above and lower pressure below, sucking the car toward the ground. That's actually happening all over the car, not just on the wings. And we could talk for hours about the design features on this thing, how they shape and use the air. Some pull air in through the car to cool it down. You can actually see there's a hole there. I think they're trying to implement that on my Lego model. Some
That
actually
is
let the
cool.
driver release air, lessening that downward pressure and allowing them to go faster in order to pass. Kind of like a Mario boost.
On everything.
You can actually hear this.
I ain't gonna lie. I was like, when she mentioned that they create their own cars and like I ain't gonna lie. The first thing that came to my mind, I'm like, dang, this is like real life Mario Kart. Like, not trying to compare it to Mario Kart, but I'm like, I mean, you could kind of do the same thing on Mario Kart. I'm sure these are more, you know, of course, expensive and more faster, but come on now, you can do a lot on Mario Kart.
Faster in order to pass. Kind of like a Mario boost. You can actually hear this in a race. Listen for DRS here.
Now, Charles Leclerc is going to have DRS to try and fight it back.
Taken together, an F1 car is just a symphony of aerodynamics. I actually got to see them up close and personal when I was in Miami.
We're going there.
I absolutely did not keep my cool. You can see teams perfecting these cars over the years,
my God.
understanding the need for wings and adding them and changing the shape and pushing our understanding of aerodynamics to shave off just fractions of a second. Hundreds, sometimes thousands of people work on this, all for one team.
Dang.
So, how much does this cost?
Oh, I seen that video.
F1 teams don't really want to share the details here, so there's a lot of speculation. But they're also companies, and some of them have to file their financials somewhere. So with a little bit of research into various European countries' reporting requirements, hold on.
Dang, she didn't went and found it.
Dun, 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 dun.
Dang.
Here they are. Annual reports for every F1 team I could find. Which is actually 8
my
out of 10,
God.
so I'm feeling pretty good about it.
It's pretty good.
As a fan, this is kind of cool. Like, look, this is Toto Wolff's signature.
Dang.
What I learned from all this is that running an F1 team costs anywhere from $95 million to $425 million.
Ooh, that's a lot of money.
But
whole lot,
the
Homer.
year after these were filed, F1 instituted a new rule saying all teams were only allowed to spend $140 million. So these reports are going to look a lot different for this next coming year.
Oh, good.
Still a lot. No matter what,
It is.
F1 teams spend a ton of money.
Dang.
So what do they make? These reports show that F1 teams make approximately nothing. They run surprisingly close to break even. Red Bull,
Wow.
for example, made $230 million in revenue, and then add these two up, $229 million in costs. And they ended up with approximately $1.2 million in profit. This is in pounds, actually, so that's $1.5 million.
Wow.
These aren't the wildly profitable enterprises I was imagining. So why do
I
you
heard that you really gotta have money to even get in this stuff. Like, you gotta have some money because of the cost of just everything when it comes to the car and different things. But dang, I mean, $1 million is still $1 million, though. You know what I'm saying? I ain't $1 million is $1 million.
These aren't the wildly profitable enterprises I was imagining. So why do they do it? Well, take a look at this. This is the Ferrari annual report. Our brand image depends in part on the success of our Formula One racing team. The racing team is a key component of our marketing strategy. It's advertising.
Advertising. It's great.
They use
Advertising.
F1 to sell other stuff, whether that's luxury sports cars or a sports drink.
Red Bull gives you wings.
I mean, as
Smart,
entertainment, F1 is incredible. But a lot of people do feel that it's somewhat wasteful.
How much does a Formula One car cost?
$400 million.
Was it worth all that money?
This is bigger than F1. It's kind of crazy to think about how much work we as a species put into entertaining
That's true.
ourselves. But I think what makes F1 feel particularly acute for some people is the technology element here. All of this engineering work and all of this energy being spent on 20 fossil fuel reliant cars
Wow.
makes people wonder sometimes if that energy might be better spent elsewhere.
Like literally anywhere else.
But
Science
F1 is
fiction.
more than just entertainment. It's better thought of actually as one giant experiment.
Oh.
F1 pushes everything to the extreme. What do you need to create to compete at this level?
Dang.
To keep control at these speeds?
They might as well be building these cars at NASA.
To compete at this level, to keep control at these speeds, to keep the driver safe. in
Oh,
these
snap.
conditions. The idea is that the technology that they build ends up trickling down to all of us non-race car drivers. My question was, is this actually true or does it just sound good? I wanted to find specific car parts that were developed for F1 and then ended up in my car. But the more research I did, the more complicated it got. People often talk about paddle shifters, for example, but those were actually developed decades before F1. F1 teams just made them better. Same for active suspension, anti-lock brakes, traction control. What I found was that F1 was less trickle-down and more flywheel. F1 combines technologies that might already exist and then pushes them to an extreme, making them better in the process and then inspiring, or literally manufacturing, better tech for all of us. For example, take thermal efficiency, the percentage of energy from combustion that actually makes the car go, as opposed to being lost to heat. Most combustion road cars have a thermal efficiency between 20 and 30%, which means only a third of the energy actually makes the car go. F1 cars can't refuel during the race, so there's a very strong incentive for them to be efficient. They're at about 50% now, thanks to new hybrid engines, gains that have been dragging the rest of the car industry forward. Or data collection. Sensors on F1 cars collect huge amounts of information and then feed it back to the driver and the team.
Bro, this is definitely a spaceship. This is definitely a spaceship. This is different. Like, I never seen, like I mentioned, I seen some F1 video, but dang, she's detailed. Like, her details are off the charts. Like, this is very detailed. But man, dang, I gotta see one in person now. I gotta see one.
F1 cars collect huge amounts of information and then feed it back to the driver and the team. They didn't invent a lot of these systems, but they use them in ways that they've never been used before. And that's actually getting more and more important as we move potentially towards self-driving cars. This is the real promise of F1, and it all stems from that original requirement to build their own cars. Basically, we'll do all of this research and development, and we'll create new technologies and also combine all of the cutting-edge tech, and we'll push it to its limits and develop it further, and you don't even need to pay for it. We'll race these things against other groups of engineers doing exactly the same thing in this crazy round-the-world sport that lots of people really love, that is actually, at the end of the day, the biggest, most expensive group project science competition of all time. People debate whether or not we should spend money on lots of our efforts to learn. And yet, they consistently push forward both the tech that we actually use and our understanding of the world around us. In this case, it also makes some money, and it's fun to watch.
Yeah, I definitely gotta check out one.
I think once you see the promise of F1, it allows you to think differently about lots of things. We need people working far beyond the edge, like pulling forward the limits of what we can do. The question now is, what do we need to learn next? If F1 pushes forward car innovation and the future of cars is electric, does F1 need to get more electric too? And
that would be interesting.
Does it get farther and farther from its original promise over time?
To be honest, I think it is, since we got these electric cars now. I honestly think they would. I don't know. It's going to be one person that'd be like, you know what, let's go electric and let's see how it works. And I feel like the electric car is going to be the future. Because to me, like with gas getting high, but it's going back to a regular price. But I feel like eventually electric cars is going to be the thing. Everybody's going to have electric cars. All these different car companies going to have electric cars. I feel like they're going to test it. Even though we got Teslas and electric cars now. And y'all let me know, because like I said, I'm new to this. So I don't know if there is already a Formula One electric car. But I feel like if they display it, it's going to win. I feel like the electric car is going to win, in my opinion. But yeah, I do believe in the next couple of years, I'll say the next 5+ years, definitely going to see a lot more electric cars. It's going to be the thing. It's going to be the thing to have an electric car.
And if F1 doesn't go more electric, does it get farther and farther from its original promise over time? Less applicable to the technology that we use and more a novelty. Oh, let's go watch those cars that use gas. I don't know. Now you're up to speed. You can watch a race, you can enjoy it with your friends, and you can also speculate, like the rest of us, where it's all gonna go. I'll be watching with you, and I'll be rooting for my favorite team.
Yeah, she's definitely a Lewis Hamilton fan. This was good. man, like F1 is really a science project. It's really a science project. Technology. That was amazing. That was amazing. I like the fact it was just so detailed. Like she hit every detail, showed every detail. That was on point. That was on point. Definitely got to get more into this. I know I did a few, like I mentioned on my other channel. I did a few. I'm gonna re-upload them on here because I don't do sports on that channel anymore. So it's all over here. But hey, y'all send me some more F1 videos to check out. I definitely enjoy it. Like I said, I'm familiar with Lewis Hamilton, Max Verstappen. I'm familiar with those guys. But that's all I have for this video. Y'all make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. Send down those recommendations. Hey, y'all be blessed, be the best, and be you. I'm out.